Do you regret a bad decision that still haunts you? I do. And so did my grandma. Stick around. It'll be a home run. I promise. Hi, I'm Jeff, and this is the RoneyZone Podcast. Stories with humor, heart, and nostalgia. This is episode 5, Cinco. In this episode, we're going to talk about a decision I made that I still regret to this day at the 1988 World Series. And we're also going to talk about my grandma going off on somebody at the Glory of Christmas at the Crystal Cathedral. And if you like horror television shows, spooky, scary shows, I have a suggestion for you toward the end, so stick around. In the early 80s, after my granddad passed away, I moved in with my grandma just to keep an eye on her and make sure she didn't get lonely or sad. And we laughed a lot. We had really had a great time. And we were a Dodger family. We love the Dodgers. And we watched the games and listened to the games on the radio in the car. And when the Dodgers were winning, we were happy. When they were losing, we were sad. But more than that, my grandma loved Steve Garvey, to the point where it was kind of a secret thing. She probably didn't. Anyway, she loved Steve Garvey. I love Cindy Garvey, but anyway. So we would go to the games. We had tickets and we would go to the games and she would yell over the railings. She'd go, "Come on, Garv! Come on, Garv!" And she yelled so loud, I'm pretty sure he could hear her. A time later, we heard the saddest news that the Dodgers could not keep Steve Garvey. And it just killed Grandma. It was just the worst, man. And so, she just was upset. And so it was at Christmas, and we always tried to do something special for Christmas. So we went to the Crystal Cathedral, and they had the Glory of Christmas. There was a big spectacle, and they had camels and burros, and they had the nativity scene and flying angels, and glorious music and all this kind of stuff. And it was in a cathedral made of glass, so you could watch planes fly over and all that. Just kind of a wild, cool thing in Garden Grove, California. Anyway, so we went. And I kept looking for things to happen with the camels and the animals going by. It didn't that night. Anyway, so we were leaving. And of all the people in the world that we could bump into, we almost ran directly into Tommy Lasorda, the manager of the Dodgers. And at that point, my 4-foot-something grandma, something just snapped. And she started giving Tommy Lasorda the business for not keeping Steve Garvey. And she was just letting him have. I mean, look, she was a churchy woman, and she wasn't cursing or anything, but she was reading Tommy Lasorda, the Riot Act. And Tommy Lasorda is looking down at this 4-foot-something woman and just saying, ma'am, we really tried. We had negotiators working as hard as they could to keep Garvey. We couldn't come to terms. I'm sorry, we couldn't. So she was still just, I think some of the Roman soldiers in the play were going to come out and, kind of help the situation and protect Tommy Lasorda, because Grandma was upset. And I don't think we said 2 words on the way home. She was just, but I mean, I think she felt kind of, regretful about it. I mean, you meet the manager of your favorite team, but she was just upset. So anyway, it was really, really something. We never talked about it much after that. And but I'm talking about it now. So if you can hear me, Grandma, it's true. You were there and I was there. So after all those memories about Grandma and the Dodgers. Nothing topped the fact that her and Granddad did have Dodger tickets. And so we would go every once in a while to the game. And so, well, in 1988, the Dodgers went to the World Series. And it was really exciting. And so she got 2 tickets to the World Series. And so she picked me to go. So I went with her to go to the World Series. And man, it was whatever you picture in your mind. If you've ever been to a World Series game, man, you look around and there's celebrities and this and that and all kind. It was just really electric. That's all I can say about it. And so we went, and Debbie Gibson sang the national anthem. And so Roger the Peanut guy was there. I don't know if you've ever been to a Dodger game and you've seen Roger the Peanut guy. He goes, peanut here, peanut here, peanut, and you can hear him coming. And so, you'd hold up your finger, tell him what you want. And he was such a good, he could have been a pitcher. He was so good throwing the bags of peanuts. They would throw them right to you. And you got to pass over the money and all this kind of stuff. And he would joke every now and then. I can't think of any jokes that he would tell, but he told great jokes. And so we had just an amazing time at this ball game. I think I took my binoculars and I would start look at the game, and then I just moved over and looked for celebrities. And then at that time in my life, I was, college age person, and I would look at the ladies. Just being real. Anyway, so we were watching the game. The Dodgers are really doing good, and then toward the 9th inning, like 8th inning, the Dodgers just were not. It was not going well, and so I have a lot of failures and a lot of things in my life I wish I didn't. And one is leaving early. And so it was right about the 9th inning. And so the Dodgers were not looking good. And so I leaned over to Grandma and I said, well, let's go. Let's beat the traffic. And it's almost like it was echoing in my mind. Let's beat the traffic. And so even as big of a fan as Grandma was, she kind of looked at me and she was kind of dejected, as I was about the game. And so we went out to the car and we were driving out and we were on the on-ramp to the freeway. And then she said, turn on the radio, because it was always set to the Dodger game. She goes, turn on the radio and we'll see how the game is going. I'll never forget. I turned on the radio and turned it up, and it sounded to somebody's ears, it would sound like it was static, but it wasn't static. It was 55,000 people screaming and cheering. And she goes, what's going on? And I said, well, the Dodgers just won the game. And it turns out that Kirk Gibson, who they got from Detroit, I believe, he didn't even start the game. He wasn't even in the opening lineup. And he was injured. And so, he was, working his legs and trying to get, things straightened out. And then he talked to Lasorda. He goes, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Because he wanted to, do his best. It's a World Series. And so he hobbled out and, a couple of flies and a couple of this and that. And then the winning run was there was somebody on base, and then Kirk Gibson came up. And right at the time when it was almost over, got a home run and won the game. Now, all that we missed. We were in the car leaving. And still to this day, there is a regret that haunts me about that. It's just because, I didn't like waiting in traffic and all this kind of stuff. So, and every time I watch on YouTube or on television, the 10 greatest sports moments of all time, it's there. It's either number 2 or number 1, and I see Kirk Gibson, running on the base and doing the arm thing. And it's just a funny, quick story. My buddy Leo, he passed away too. He was a funny guy and jokey guy. And so there was a video of that they show all the time from the Dodgers of that when Gibson hit the home run. You could see out the top, above the top seats, a car hit the brakes, and it goes, "That's you, that's you, Jeff." Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, I have gone back to that over and over and over. It's like, when I say, I think we should go because of the traffic, I always think, well, maybe we should stay. Now, a lot of the times when we stay, nothing ever incredible happens. So there's that for you. Anyway, those are my Dodgers and grandma stories. Poor Tommy Lasorda. Just, he really got the business from grandma. Here is a suggestion for a television show. If you like spooky, scary horror shows, if maybe you're older like me and cooler, if you like Carl Kolchak, the Night Stalker, oh man, that was, the makeup effects were kind of goofy, but it was really, really a cool show. If you like the X-Files, if you like Penny Dreadful, if you like that kind of thing, here is a television show from a Spanish production company in Spain, and it's called 30 Coins. Now, it's about this priest that comes to this little Spanish town, and then there's a lot of paranormal monster things that start happening, and it centers around one of the coins that was used to betray Christ with Judas. And so there was 30 pieces of silver. And so there's a deeper story about different bishops and priests having these coins. And when they get them all, there's going to be this powerful, evil thing that's happening. But the show is really, really, really good. As a matter of fact, some of the episodes were so scary, I couldn't watch them at night. So I'd watch them in the daytime. But anyway, 30 Coins, you can find the show on Netflix. And it is, they have it in English so that you can watch the mountain match, but you can watch it with English speaking. And it's so great. It's just, each has a different thing. There's like a zombie thing and a ghost thing and different monsters and 30 Coins. Really, really, really good. That's it. I have one final request. And the request is that you please subscribe if you like it, these videos. And if you don't like it, please think about somebody that might like it, and then refer them here to this channel, the RoneyZone on YouTube. And again, if you do like it, share it out. If you find this on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere, share it out to friends. And we're trying to build a community here for people that like this type of nostalgic, humorous, heartfelt, stuff with heart, little stories and suggestions and all that. So until next time, I'm still Jeff. See you later. Bye-bye.